What's up, everyone? Tytalkz back with another video or stream, or whenever you see this, most of you might see this as a video itself. And if I'm lucky, I may have a few people here who will see this as a stream. Give me approximately 2 minutes to finish out of everything I need to do. This was really something that was done at last minute. I just decided to do a live match review for this game because I think there's a lot that needs to be said about this. So bear with me. I'll be right back. Give me approximately 2 minutes. All right. Okay. So I said 2 minutes, but everything that needs to be done, it can be done after that. So if someone wants to join, then I'll keep my eyes peeled into the chats or comments to see if there's anybody. Please bear with me if you see me look down. It's because I have my computer that I'll be using to bring up any comments that might pop up. So I'm still trying to find space in order to have it so I don't have to keep looking down. But for right now, that's what I have to do. So yeah, but Man United, we all know that they're in shambles right now. They have been really poor in recent weeks. Obviously, it led to Oli being sacked because of the poor form that they were in. And Michael Carrick is the interim for right now, as that's what we're hearing right now. So obviously, it's something that people were saying that it's going to be a new manager bounce or a manager bounce, and I didn't really see as that. I think the game was really open. It could have gone anyway actually. Obviously, we were lucky that we only conceded one goal because, if I'm being honest, this game could have honestly ended bad for Chelsea because they were not taking the many chances that they created. I think in the first half, at one point, I saw 8 attempts being done and 3 were on target. So I mean, we could have been 3-0 up by the end of the half, but we obviously we didn't take our chances, and it's pretty frustrating. I'm still frustrated because I was really hoping that we win this game, make us get back a 4 point gap ahead of you know Liverpool, extend that gap because Man City won not long after, not long after, long before that happened. So obviously we needed to at least win the game. A draw was out of the picture, but obviously, we had different plans. I don't know why we decided to draw the game instead because I think there's a lot of factors, and I'm gonna get into that in due course. But I mean, I'm really frustrated, honestly. Based on what I've seen from Chelsea, we should have at least scored more than one goal. I've been seeing people saying that it seems that we have a issue where it's a mentality. There's some type of curse against Man United because we can never break that curse. We can never break that deadlock of not beating them in the Premier League. The last time that we won them was in 2017, and I mean, it's disappointing to think that that's how long it has been since we beat them at the bridges. It's very frustrating, honestly. It's very disappointing. This result could have been better. It could have been. So I'm not going to act like I'm satisfied because we could have gotten more. And I guess in a way, Chelsea have spoiled their fans into wanting a win every single game. And listen, I've accepted that you won't win every game that you play in, but at the same time, this was a game that was very open. Poor finishing, poor decision making in the final third. This is sometimes I don't know. Well, whenever we against these big teams or these so-called top six teams, we tend to lose the mindset. We lose that creativity that we had before we had to face them. So it's very strange. Obviously, this team is still naive. It's a team that that is full of players that Tuchel didn't really want, or he came in and saw them there and he had to work with it, and he decided to work with them. So obviously, I'm not this isn't entirely Tuchel's, team. Obviously, I'm sure he has more plans. We're hearing rumors that he's giving them the go ahead to sell Pulisic, or he's giving them the go ahead to sign players like a Chiesa, Federico Chiesa, and I would not be against it, honestly. I think Chiesa has something that I think really would have helped this team. We were not good when it came on to finishing. We were rushing chances. Obviously, we know that in the latter stages of the stoppage time, the last minute, we had an excellent chance. We did great on a counter attack, and we created a chance that Lukaku wasn't able to get his head to. It landed to really go, and he skied it. So obviously there's a lot of bad things in this game. Very disappointing. Obviously I haven't really seen his post match interview and everything, but Thomas Tuchel, based on what I've been seeing on Twitter, was saying that he was happy with the way that they were performing, and in a sense I can understand that, but there's a lot of negatives. There wasn't a lot of negative. We were pushing, we had intensity, we looked like we wanted to score goals. But the major thing that I've been complaining about for months is that we're not able to be clinical when it matters. We are not consistent. Sometimes we will be scoring 3 goals, 3+ goals, and we look like we're the best thing since sliced bread. And then another time we look poor and we're not able to break down teams. And it's very frustrating. And I don't understand why it's like this. I don't understand why we're not able to, keep our composure, keep our mind intact, and do what we need to do when it matters. I don't get it. I honestly don't. And I've been saying this, I've been told I've been negative, but I have to be realistic. This season reminds me too much of last season. This is the exact same thing that happened against teams that we should be able to beat. We're either conceding or we're not able to break them down enough to score more than one goal or score at all. So obviously, I will be frustrated, and it does remind me of it because I think that people will say that we have the best defense or we do have a good defense, and sometimes I'll agree with that. Sometimes I don't entirely agree with it because I think that in a lot of games we have been protected by either Edward Mendy, Thiago Silva bailing us out, but our defense has their lack of their lack of togetherness. They lack that that composure to stay intact because sometimes we do get caught out on a transition, and sometimes we'll be able to deflect a shot that might be taken by our opponents or make an interception or things like that. But our defense do have some shakiness. But I'm not saying that what Paul Scholes was saying when he said months ago is true or it's accurate, because to say that we have the worst defense of back then, and I don't really want to get into it because obviously he did, revise that statement that he made and probably twisted it around to say that, oh, he doesn't think that this and that. But I mean, if we face teams like a West Brom who are eager to score goals and we get ourselves a red card, things like that, we do become a bit left in the open and we can concede goals. And this does remind me of Leicester last season. We lost 2-0 on the front Lampard. And I know people don't really like bringing up the former manager, but you have to bring it up because there's a lot of similarities to what happened last season. Now I'm not saying that Tuchel should be sacked because I'm not reactionary like that to say get him out, he's sacked, because I would be a hypocrite because days ago on Twitter, if you do follow me on Twitter, if you do see my tweets on Twitter, you saw many praise I had for Tuchel. So I could never say Tuchel out because of a draw. Obviously, I do think he got a lot of things wrong. We were not able to capitalize, as the banner says down here. But I don't think to say Tuchel out is really sensible. At this time, I'm not saying that he will never get sacked or he can never get sacked because things can always happen. I don't want him to be sacked. I think he should be a long-term manager, but that all comes down to the club and what he does and what he's able to get out of the team when it matters. But I mean, Tuchel, I want to move on to Tuchel now, and oh boy, Tuchel got a lot of things wrong. I am sorry he got a lot of things wrong. His timing of the substitutions were wrong. He was not making them at the ideal time. Bringing on Lukaku later down in the game made little sense to me. Obviously, if it's for precautionary measures, then that still doesn't justify it because you bringing on a player in the 82nd minute isn't really good, especially a player who's coming back from injury. If it was a player who was playing games before and they're coming back now and they were not able to really score goals and they're coming back, then I can understand it. But Lukaku is coming back from an injury. You have to give him more than 8 minutes or 8+ minutes to get back the groove of playing professional football. Because if he's been out for nearly a month, and if you're not gonna play him, and give him more than 8 minutes or 8+ minutes, then obviously he's not gonna do a lot of things, and that's what you saw with Lukaku. He did try. He held up the ball a bit and things like that. Hey, big ups to you, Bobby. Thanks for it. And I know that the Blue Lounge will be having a stream, which is why I decided to do this earlier because I want to catch it. But thanks for coming in the chat. You're the only person here. Thanks for visiting. It's been a long time since I've done a stream. I appreciate the support. Thank you for coming in. You're the only person here, honestly. So thank you for that. And share it out. And I know that most people will be seeing this as a video because obviously I don't really get a lot of attention when I do streams like this. But I mean, for those who watch this after, like and subscribe, and share it. Help me to get to 100 subscribers. I'm getting there. My views are getting higher. Appreciate it. So if you can help me out, just help me out. It's not going to take a lot of time. It doesn't. You don't have to pay money. And I know that the like button doesn't really turn blue anymore. But blue is a color. Obviously, this didn't show the perfect example of it. But blue is the color. London is still blue. We're still in the title race. We're still top of the league, so we cannot pretend like it's the end of the world. We're going to be going into shambles or things like that. We were just unfortunate, honestly. We were unfortunate. It is frustrating because the substitutions could have been better. They could have been sooner. But I'm like I said, I'm not going to say Tuchel out like my compadre said on Twitter. And for those people who do follow me on Twitter and you saw tweets like that, I just want to say that I apologize that you saw those type of tweets from my account. My account, I've said this on Twitter, but I think I need to specify it on YouTube as well. My accounts are co-run by a good friend of mine, but sometimes his opinions are differing to mine, which is understandable. It's good. It's good when you have two people who have different opinions, but sometimes I think he does get ahead of himself. So I apologize for those who saw that tweet. I don't think I removed it yet. I might at the end of the stream, but I just really know that that was not my thoughts. Like I said, I'm not Tuchel out. I'm far from Tuchel out. I do think that he made some poor decisions, like substitutions, the way he tried to get the result and things like that, his reactions and everything. But at the same time, I mean, I'm not complaining. We're still top of the league. Obviously, it would have been nice to extend that lead because I think that Liverpool are 1 point behind us. Obviously, we know that Man's not 1 point. I think they're 2 points behind, but we got a point. And Man City is 1 point behind us. So it would have been nice to extend it to 4 and 5, but it is what it is. But it is frustrating, and I can understand for those people who are frustrated. Obviously, I will be moving on to another factor that I think cost us this game, and it's the finishing. I did speak about it in the earlier part of this stream, but I want to quickly, you know, go into individual performances and individual, performances in terms of the finishing and the attempts that we try to score. Now, Columbus Nodoi, we know that he's been creating a lot of chances, but I'm sure that a lot of fans know that Columbus Nodoi is not the best finisher. It's not supposed to be anything new. Obviously, he has scored a few goals since he's been playing more and starting games, but I do think that we sometimes us fans don't remember that Columbus Nodoi is not the best finisher. He's still young. He still has a lot to learn. His decision making still needs to improve. But I think a lot of people are being too harsh on Columbus Nodoi. He is a professional footballer, and it does look like it's a downgrade to what we saw him do against Juventus, how creative he was. We didn't really see the best from him. And like Tuchel said, Man United were set up very defensive. They were very deep. We barely had space, and that's why you're not really seeing Werner make those runs, which is another player I want to speak about after Columbus Nodoi. But with Columbus Nodoi, I think people forget that he's not that finisher. He's not that player like what you can get from a Christian Pulisic when he's in form of when he can score goals. Or probably people do compare him to, I don't know, like a Sancho or things like that. But I do think that people are a bit harsh on him. Obviously, he does deserve the criticism that he does receive, but I think people forget that he's not the best finisher. I've never looked at him as a player to score goals. I've seen him as a creator, and if he does score goals, I do feel happy for him. But I don't really expect him to score goals. He's not like a player I'm going to say, oh, he's going to score. I don't think that. But I think he does need to improve on that. That's something that he definitely needs to improve on. But I want to move on to Werner quickly. And Werner, like I said, Man United were very deep. I think that a lot of fans thought they would be playing that Man United would be playing very high and probably would have suited Timo Werner. And I think Tuchel thought that as well. But we did not see Werner make those runs. He was very invisible in the game. He's like he disappeared, and that's understandable. But I don't really like the fact that if he doesn't have space, he can't try, because that means that we cannot play him if we don't have any other choice. And should Lukaku not have been available, what would he have done? I really think that we should have stuck with a false nine. But I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure. But with Werner, the game didn't suit him based on how defensive Man United were. Werner isn't really doing good, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. He has been very poor. He has been absolutely poor, and I don't know. Werner is really, really, really making it difficult to defend him. I'm not saying that give up on Werner. No, he's never going to come back and do something good and offer something. But I don't think that Werner has fully um really gotten that chance to really, get back his mindset, get back the way he was performing. Obviously, we saw him score against Juventus. He came back again from an injury. So obviously, sometimes, things are happening. But obviously, we do know that he doesn't have a good first touch. It's nothing new to us. Sometimes he can control the ball well. Sometimes he can't. I don't know why. It's so strange, but it is what it is. And sometimes he doesn't. But with Werner does frustrate fans, and I can understand the frustration. But this game didn't suit him. I didn't want him to start because I knew that this could have happened. Considering the way that Man United played against Villarreal, I think that they wouldn't really decide to play entirely like they did then. Because if they did, then I'm sure this game could have definitely ended in Chelsea's favor. Obviously, it is what it is, though. Yeah, he was frustrating, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I'm not gonna defend him to say he isn't. Yeah, he should have scored twice. He should have. He either shot too early or things like that. And I've defended Bruno on a few occasions. I've criticized him fairly as well. And I think that people thought that we had this attacking issue suited and resolved, but it hasn't been solved because obviously I've said this for months that we do need a creative mid winger or a AM, and I still think we do. Maybe in January, maybe in the summer, but I think we need a resolution. We need a solution to sort out this attacking issue. If we don't have a clinical striker like a Lukaku, who really hasn't really been scoring goals, we will not really be scoring goals. And obviously, we do score with goals with our false nine. And it does seem ironic that we couldn't create when we had a striker. And I mean, a lot of YouTubers were saying that maybe start Werner. Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. Yeah. But what I was saying is, I don't remember what I was saying. I don't remember what I was saying. Maybe, probably it could have stayed. But yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Bobby, because we couldn't really tell what tactics Carrick was going to use, because obviously, like I said, the way that they played against Villarreal is absolutely different. It's like they were using the method that we were trying to use against them as well. They were trying to sit deep and then try to catch us on the counter attack, and that's exactly what happened. That led to their goal. Jorginho was very unfortunate, and I know that a lot of fans don't rate Jorginho or they don't respect him, but in my opinion, I think a lot of people will agree with me. He had a good performance. Obviously, he made a poor mistake. He did handle the pressure well, and sometimes it happens to the best of us. He had a poor first touch. The ball got away from him. Sancho pounced on it, and he automatically scored. So obviously, we can be hard on him because Jorginho did have a good performance. He handled the pressure well. He did absolutely perfect up until that 50th minute. So I'm not sure why fans will really be twisting their words to say that he's not good, because he was good up to that point. And he made up for it with scoring a penalty, especially with the form he was with Italy and not scoring penalties and things like that. But he did well, and I mean the team really wasn't entirely bad. It was just that we were not able to finish. The defense was okay, and I still believe, and this is the last part I'm going to speak about. I said defense. I know there's a lot of things I'm missing out on, but you can always find other videos of people speaking about it. But I'm on a time slot right now, so I have to quickly wrap this up. But with the defense, I did say this on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you can follow me. It will be in the description as usual, as well as my Twitter account as well. You can follow them. But what I was saying on Instagram was that Christensen could have started instead of Chalobah. People were telling me that experience is what matters. Christensen has the experience. We saw what happens when you have a player like a Chalobah who is still learning on the job. Basically, that's what you can say. He's learning on the job. Starting Chalobah wasn't really bad. I could understand why starting him, but I still believe that Christensen could have played because Christensen has the experience. He thrives when he's playing with Silva and Rudiger. He does well. We've seen it on many occasions. Christensen and Silva work well together. Rudiger as well. So it's not like it couldn't work. Christensen could have played. Christensen would have offered something else. I personally think that we wouldn't really be been caught out like we were, but we really can't speak hypothetical because we never know what would have happened. Christensen could have probably made a mistake. We don't know what would have happened. But I know people don't really trust him in these big games. And I mean, if you want him to sign a contract and you don't really trust him in the big games, when are you going to trust him? What if we didn't have Silva? And this is why I did want Silva to play, because we could see how tired he was. Silva was very tired. I think he could have maybe sat this one out. And if he wanted to play Chalobah and play Aspi as well. Chalobah can play along the back three. So it's not like he can only play on the right or the left. He can play in the center as well. But yeah, that's the thing. Um, I really wish I could have made this longer. But thanks to those who came on. Thanks again, Bobby, for if you're still here, for coming on and leave me your comments here and there. I really wish I could have made this longer. I am very sorry I couldn't. Yeah, Bobby. I think we have to. It's really difficult. It's very disappointing that we have to, but we just have to take it on the chin. Have to take it as a lesson. And like I always say, it's better to get this out. Yeah, they got lucky again. It's it's better to get these draws out of the way now, so we can pounce on them. We can learn what we need to improve on, learn how we need to approach against defensive teams or teams that sit deep, and then maybe we'll do better. But thanks for those who will watch this as a video. Thanks again, Bobby. Peace.